In 1984, Rajiv Gandhi had a record win. He won 404 seats, and there was an additional of 10 seats later when elections were again held for some few other seats. I'm Pallavi Ghosh, and my this week's One Take actually talks about that inside scoop within the BJP camp and what is their strategy ahead for the 2024 elections. Well, all top sources within the BJP have indicated that what they really plan to do is actually outsmart and break this record of Rajiv Gandhi. As of now, the BJP in 2019 elections had won 303 seats. On their own, they want to actually outsmart Rajiv Gandhi's tally and break that record win. And therefore, here's the strategy ahead. In the last few days and weeks, you must have been watching the way the Prime Minister has been going up and about. How the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, the BJP President, JP Nadda, and in fact the entire core team of the BJP has working very hard, and they're already looking ahead at the 2024 elections. In the recently concluded BJP National Executive Meet in Telangana, the same FEISTY strategy of the BJP was noticed this time round as it was ahead of the West Bengal elections. Over there too, many were asking this question: how can the BJP ever make an entry into West Bengal, which has traditionally been a bastion of all anti-BJP forces, whether it was the left, before them the Congress party, and after the left, of course, the Trinamool Congress. The fact that the BJP did very well during the Lok Sabha elections from Bengal actually stunned many. Now, here was a party which had absolutely no organization, no roots in West Bengal, yet they had managed to do very well there. And buoyed by this kind of a performance, the BJP cannot be faulted for trying its luck as far as the Bengal Assembly elections are concerned. Well, they didn't do well, but that's a part of the game of politics. The same strategy is now being applied as far as Telangana and southern India goes. See, the calculation of the BJP is that at least capture the big states, UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, and of course Madhya Pradesh. You do well and you have power in these states, actually it increases your tally from these states as far as the Lok Sabha seats goes. Which is why it was a matter of time but inevitable that the BJP would manage to form its government in Maharashtra. And it's not something which happened overnight or was sudden. It was something which was a part of their strategy for quite some time. There were backroom negotiations, and we all know about it, the kind of consultations and how they were working at chipping away at the Shiv Sena, ensuring that it's a BJP government in the state of Maharashtra when the next Lok Sabha elections are held in 2024. So the target is very simple: increase their margins, cross it from the previous time over also in Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, the three big states. You increase your overall Lok Sabha tally. But that doesn't mean that you don't look elsewhere. Now, they are hopeful in their calculations of other states as well, where they have not been in power or they are not in power. Rajasthan is one state where they are looking at, because that's where the state elections will be held before the next Lok Sabha elections. And the BJP is quite hopeful that because of the cyclical pattern, this time round in Rajasthan too, the BJP will come to power, but that's at the state level. If you notice in the last Lok Sabha elections also, the Congress had actually got 0 seats. The BJP's calculation is that being back in power in the state is going to make them super confident that they can repeat this performance. As far as Gujarat is concerned, Himachal, even with its few number of states, they are not too worried. Now, I'm just going to go by region. Let's start beginning with the north, where we've spoken about states like Uttar Pradesh, even Jammu and Kashmir, very much a part of the agenda. So one is expecting that elections will be held over here much before the next Lok Sabha elections. And the BJP's movement in these states are very calculated. No matter how much the NC or the PDP may keep on criticizing, saying that it is a demolition of democracy, a narrative has been successfully built up that it was actually a fiefdom of either the Abdullahs or the Muftis, and this is what the people of Jammu and Kashmir never benefited from. And if the BJP comes there, because it's now going to be a union territory, the BJP is going to bring development in the area, which also means that even though it is a smaller state in terms of Lok Sabha representation, strategically speaking, it becomes extremely significant. We've spoken about UP, which should not be too much of a challenge for the BJP. Madhya Pradesh, of course, they're very much in power. Again, doesn't see too much of a challenge. Rajasthan, we've spoken about. The other important state at which one really needs to talk about is Punjab. Now here is another state where the BJP faced a huge backlash over the farm law bills. But look how that they are working in that area. The Aam Aadmi Party is always seen as a tougher competitor to the BJP than say a Congress party or the Akali Dals. The defeat of the AAP from the bastion or the traditional seat of the sitting Chief Minister from Sangrur is actually an ominous sign for the Aam Aadmi Party and a setback to its plans of being a national alternative. Now this is one development which the BJP is always going to use to its advantage to hit back at the Aam Aadmi Party if it tries to build up on its narrative. Now to talk about Punjab, when I used to travel there during the elections, I did see a certain amount of disenchantment, especially as far as the urban areas of Punjab is concerned, despite the farm law bill anger, and also a disenchantment as far as the Hindu population is concerned. Now that's very significant because that's one substantial population which the BJP is targeting and also focusing on. You know, the moment leaders like a Manish Tiwari, who's a part of the Congress party, starts speaking out and the party attacks him publicly, is actually sweet music for the BJP. They're going to use that to their advantage. Plus the fact that Captain Narendra Singh, a war veteran and also a veteran of politics of Punjab, if he becomes a part officially of the BJP very soon, that is also something which the BJP would want to use to its advantage to increase its tally from the states. But that's as far as the western and I would say eastern, of course, we know the plan they have in Bengal. They are not giving up on Orissa. Northeast, because of Himanta Biswa Sarma and the fact that they have a government in those states, they're pretty confident of having a sizable number of Lok Sabha seats from there. It's South which offers them the bigger challenge. But knowing the way the BJP works, it doesn't give up on these challenges. It doesn't think that this is one territory which cannot be conquered. And therefore, they keep on trying, hoping that at least 10 to 15 seats we can win from South, and that can be used as a stepping stone. In Kerala, which also happens to be Rahul Gandhi's state in terms of his constituency from there, Smriti Irani has gone to Wayanad once. That's been her focus area. She's attacked Rahul Gandhi. I don't think BJP suffers from any kind of misconception that immediately Rahul Gandhi can be defeated by the BJP over there. But you know, it's a long-term plan. But immediately in Kerala, at least winning 1 to 2 Lok Sabha seats. In Telangana, the BJP certainly hopes that it does well over there and increases its tally from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. So what they are doing is they are adopting and embracing the local leaders. You saw Vijay Shanti, a very famous actor, almost by the side of every top BJP leader in the BJP summit in Telangana. That was in Hyderabad. Also Khushbu Sundar, someone, you know, South Indians, they love their film stars. Using her as a part of the BJP's narrative down south in Tamil Nadu immediately did not work in the state elections, but many missed the point that it was actually a long-term plan. Their focus is actually on the Lok Sabha elections. Even if they manage to win 2 to 3 seats from that state, for them it would be a huge achievement. So when we are looking at the 2024 plan of the BJP, the strategy seems to have changed. Yes, Hindutva is going to be the main agenda. That polarization is something that they're going to work upon in state after state, even the southern states, even in Punjab. Like in Telangana, when the Prime Minister in Hyderabad talked about changing the name of Hyderabad, he clearly was looking at the Hindutva vote bank, talking about the gods and goddesses, the mandirs, Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, going there, traveling. All that is a part of the strategy of the BJP for 2024. The shift in strategy of the BJP in 2024 is going to position itself as a party and as a government which is going to bring big bang developments. Focus is going to be on the Dalits, on women power, who have been substantially voting for the BJP in state after state elections. And with a large number of women vote bank across the country, but particularly in the south, the BJP hopes to make the kill, as we say, for the 2024 elections. So Dalits, the backwards, the women, youth, several first-time voters, that's also what the BJP is going to be capitalizing upon. So this is the plan of 2024, and as a top BJP leader told me, our target is to break that 404 record of Rajiv Gandhi of 1984. Shouldn't be very difficult according to the BJP, because that's what their game plan is. How successful they are going to be, well, only time will tell. At the end of the day, the BJP wants to reduce its dependence on its allies, and therefore breaking the 1984 target becomes very, very important for them. Do give in your reactions on the social media timeline. Thank you so much for watching.